Hello, welcome to Nina's Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hi. Thanks for stopping by, checking out my channel. It's all about crochet, a little bit about knitting, a lot about yarn, and my journey in this fantastic yarning community. Returning subscribers, hi. Thanks so much for coming and spending a little bit of your Friday with me. Today is going to be a busy one. I have a finished object. I have some happy mail. I have some chit chat, and I have some hand-dyed yarn. I did it, you guys. Oh my God. We have to talk about this. It was so much fun. So anyway, let's get right into it. Finished objects. I am wearing my finished object. I am wearing my V-stitch cardigan by Wilma Westenberg. Super easy construction on this cardigan. You guys, this is probably the easiest one I've ever done and the easiest sleeves I've ever done. These sleeves turned out perfect, not too wide, not too tight, perfect length. There wasn't anything about this pattern that I didn't like. Super cute. I love the yarn that I picked. I combined Mary Maxim Sunrise, and this is 100% premium micro acrylic. I don't know what that means, but this is super soft yarn, super squishy, bouncy. I love it. The color is called Mirage. It's a beautiful silvery gray with a little bit of shine to it. And I combined it with this, a Yarn Bee hand-dyed 100% superwash merino wool. This is the color Natural Slate. I combined those together. This was a number 3. This is a number 1. This is how it caked up together. Super cute. Crocheted like a dream. So soft. No sticking, no splitting. It was fabulous. I cannot wait to do something else with that Sunrise yarn from Mary Maxim. I loved it. This cardigan is the perfect transition cardigan because it has enough holes in it that it's breathable, but it's, you know, it's snuggy and squishy, and it's perfect for the days like today where it's in the low 60s this morning and it's going to be in the 80s this afternoon, and then it'll be back down into the 60s tonight. So you're always looking for that one cardigan that isn't going to be wearing a blanket, but warm enough that you're warding off the chill. This one with the right yarn is that cardigan. I'm even considering seeing if I can adapt this cardigan pattern for a number 1 yarn to make it a really lightweight cardigan to wear like when you're inside in air conditioning and it's freezing and you're going right outside and it's 100 degrees. So you need that transition piece from inside to outside. So I'm thinking if I can figure out a way to take these exact measurements and do it in a number 1 yarn. I would really like to be able to do that. There's got to be a website. If you know a website or a tutorial or something where somebody shows you how to convert a pattern from a number 4 to another weight yarn. I know when Crystal on Bag O' Day does it, she just says use a different yarn, size hook. I don't think that will work with this because you will lose the measurements. So, sorry. I'm thinking I might just measure, like with a tape measure. I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's for another time. I'm telling you guys, I am going to be so busy. that kind of brings me to my next subject here. I have made a decision that I am putting Sophie's Universe on hold until this fall. It's not that I don't love it. I am loving this project, and I'm enjoying the process. I don't have time. And it's just adding stress where I don't need it, especially this time of year. I have my granddaughter is going to prom. My oldest granddaughter, who is graduating from high school this year, is going to prom. And I want to make her a wrap to go with her dress. I'm kind of late on this, so I'm going to have to boogie. Prom is towards the end of April, and so I'm going to have to spend the next week or so doing nothing but working on this wrap until I can get it in the mail, because it's important to me that she have this for her senior prom. And then as soon as that's over, I've got May birthdays that I'll have to contend with. I've got two in March. May. Gosh, I don't even know what day it is. See what I'm telling you? I'm crazy. Then at the end of May, we will be traveling to Indiana for probably about 2 weeks. Our granddaughter graduates from high school. So we will be going up to Indiana and spending some time up there with, family to see our granddaughter graduate. Then we'll come home for about 2 weeks or so and then go right back up for her graduation open house. Now, we had considered going and staying for, the month and a half, 2 months that we would need to be up there. The problem was we couldn't find a campsite, and I don't want to camp in my daughter's driveway for a month and a half. It's fine for overnight or, for a couple of days, but to be up there that long for, a month and a half, almost 2 months, we really needed to be in a campsite, and we couldn't find one for the whole time. So we made the decision that we'll go up, spend some time, come home for a little while, decompress, and then go back up for a long weekend. And then they're going to come back down with us and spend some time in Florida, kind of like their last family vacation before Sydney goes off to college. So May, June, July are going to be super, super busy for me. I am going to keep up on Luck of the Draw. I am going to keep up on my knit blanket. I am going to keep up on Judy's crochet creations and crochet cal. But honestly, I think that's pretty much what I'm going to have all the time for. I'm going to, try to put in some time on some bogey blankets here and there, but I don't even know that I'm going to be able to get to those. With this much family commitment, I have to make sure that I don't make myself stressed out, and because stress will affect my health, and I need to be healthy, happy, and whole so that I can enjoy this time with my family. So Sophie's Universe is going in timeout for a little while, but she will come out. So I have chosen the pattern for my daughter, or my granddaughter. She wants her dress to be green, and she looks beautiful in green. So we're going to do, since her dress is going to be a solid color, we're going to go and do her wrap in multicolors. The wrap that I picked out is called the Rainbow Love Wrap by Yarn Andy. And if you don't know who Yarn Andy is, it's Tunisian. It's a Tunisian crochet. She does other things than Tunisian patterns, but I love her Tunisian work. It's beautiful. So this is the pattern, the wrap that I'm making. I'm not going to make it that way, but it is going to be a rainbow effect wrap. I am going to be using some more of this. This is the Yarn Bee hand dyed. The color is called Amber Medallion. This is 100% superwash merino wool. There are 400 yards on this one. Yeah, 400 yards. It says use a 3mm hook. The pattern that I'm using calls for a 5, and I am using my Bamboo Knitter's Pride with a big long cord because the starting chain was 228. This is what it looks like caked up, and I literally started it yesterday. So I have the foundation row and the first row started, and I think this is going to be the perfect size wrap. She's a tiny little thing. I think she's probably 5'5" maybe, and you know, 110 pounds soaking wet. You know, she's just this tiny little girl. So this will be the perfect size for her. It won't be too overwhelming, but it'll be enough to wrap up. You know, in April in Indiana, it could be 70 and sunny, or it can be 40 and sleeting. You never know. So this wrap in this weight with this material is going to be perfect. I did use a tip that I have seen a couple of places. One of my subscribers sent it to me, and I've seen it on one of my Instagram pages, that if you do your initial chain and then do a row of purl stitching, it will not curl. And so far, this isn't curling. And I will be excited to see if this works out, because that is the big problem with Tunisian, is the curl. But apparently if you do a foundation row of just a purl stitch first, that eliminates that. So we'll see how it goes. This yarn is so soft and so springy, and I really love working with this. And this pattern is written very well on her website, which is fabulous. She has a low vision version where she changes the font and the boldness. So you can see, I don't know if you can tell, the repeat is in bold. So you've got, you know, the first few stitches, and then the last, you know, how she wants you to do the return pass. But the repeat is in bold print, so that if you look up and look down, you can find exactly where it is. Fabulous idea. She's doing that for all of the patterns on her website, so that people that have, she calls them her low vision version. It's fantastic. What a great thing that is, because sometimes patterns are really hard to read when they all blend together. They're all the same font, they're all the same size. This is a great idea. So I hope some other pattern readers or writers are out there who are hearing this. Use this idea. It's a fantastic idea. So that is what I'm going to be spending a lot of time on in the next week to 10 days, because like I said, it's 228 stitches, number 1 yarn, a number 5 hook. It's going to take a while, but I think in the end it's going to be gorgeous and worth it. So that is that. What else? Oh, let's do Happy Mail, and then we'll get to the really fun stuff. So I got an email a week or so ago from one of my subscribers wanting my address, and I sent it to her. She wanted to send me some hooks that she enjoys, because I'm always having trouble finding a hook that's long enough for my big fluffy hands. So she sent me 2 of these. They're called the Crochet Light. They're the ones that light up. Not that I crochet in the dark, but how cool is that? They light up. And she sent me what are these? I think it's a J and an eye, a 5.5 and a 6.5. And they're flat in your hand. And they have this really cool like rubber thing so your fingers stop sliding. So I'll be interested to see how these work. They do not dig into my hand. They're long enough for my big fluffy hands. So I will, the next project that I need a 5.5 or a 6mm, I'll give these a shot and see how they are. So that was what she originally sent. And then she sent me this adorable little small project bag that she made. Isn't that cute? Look at that. The little lemons in black and white. How cute is that? She made this. It's quilted with a flat bottom. Teresa, you amaze me at your skill level. This is, it's lined on the inside. It's really, really good. So Teresa, fantastic job. Thank you so much for thinking of me and sending me these hooks and this bag. I love them. Sydney's wrap will be living in this bag. So thank you so much for sending this to me. I do appreciate it. Beautiful job. Fantastic, beautiful job on this really cute project bag. So Teresa, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you watching all my videos. So that's Happy Meal. I'm gonna put this over there so I remember where it's at. Now on to the super, super fun stuff. So I know I've mentioned a million times that I'm going to try to dye yarn. Yesterday, I did it. I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook or on Instagram, but I showed a before and after. I had, you know, the yarn soaking. I tried to video. My kitchen is so, the way it's set up, there was nowhere for me to put my camera safely. And it's not something, you can't do you have to have both hands. So I couldn't hold the camera and do what I was doing. So it really didn't work out. The lighting was terrible. But I can't, I want to order some more yarn and try some more because I had a really good time. I used a 75/25 merino wash nylon based yarn, a sack weight yarn. So it's a #1. The dyes I used were the Wilton icing gel dye, food colorings. Because of the way those are manufactured, you don't necessarily have to use vinegar, but all the videos that I watched and stuff said that the vinegar helps make the colors more vibrant. So I added a little bit of vinegar to the water. The first one I did, I had too much water in the pot. Instead of using only 8 cups of water, I had 10 cups of water in the pot. And it got to the point where the yarn had taken all the dye that it was going to take, and there was still color in the pan. So I had to dump it out and start over. But once I put in just the 8 cups of water, like a 1.5 tablespoons of vinegar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of the dye, I got some really good results. So this was my first one, and this was just plain teal. I just used one color of the yarn, or the yarn, of the dye, and this is what I came up with. It is so pretty, a really soft teal green, and this one I kind of just, it's pretty much all one color. I, you know, slowly put it in the dye and just let it sit. You just let it simmer for 10 minutes in the warm simmering water, and I pulled it out, cooled it off, rinsed it out, hung it up to dry. And I think the solid color turned out fun. I think it turned out pretty. So that was my attempt number 1. Come on. Then I went to, what did I do next? The green. And this one I wanted kind of two-tone. So I started at this end and put this in and let it soak for a little while, and then dropped it a little more, and I dropped it a little more. And then when I had it about halfway in, I left this end out and let this soak up the dye. And then I added a little bit of yellow back in, flipped it around, and then added it in from this side. And that's how I got this kind of two-tone yellowy green. And I think it turned out really pretty. I love how this, it kind of like just fades into each other. And it turned out really pretty. This yarn is soft and bouncy and smells good. So that was attempt number 2. Get this. I don't want them to get tangled. And then I did, this one was kind of a little bit of a fail, but it was an okay fail. I was going for more of a coral color, but it came out pretty much orange, but a pinky orange. Because I used, they don't have a orange dye, so I used golden yellow, a little bit of red, and a little bit of pink. And this is what I came up with. And you can see right there, it's where it's kind of pink looking. And it's not very coral, but it's just, it's a unique color. Again, these are all going to be one of a kind. I'm never going to be able to recreate this because it was just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And this is what this one came up with. I think it turned out really pretty. I love the different shades in the yarn. So that was experiment number 3. I would really, see, look how pretty that looks when it's twisted. I'm gonna do some research on color mixing because I would really like a true coral color, and figure out how I can do that by mixing colors. But that is hank number 3. Then I decided to do a purple, but I didn't want it to be purple. And this one turned out a little bit lighter than I wanted it to. I used purple with a drop or 2 of pink just to tone it down some, but I used less dye and like half the amount of what I had been putting in because I didn't want it to be all the same. And this is what I came up with. Again, I started at this end, putting this end in, and slowly adding it in, swishing it around back and forth until we got up to this end. And this end kind of turned out gray, like a blue gray. This did it on its own. I had no control over this. All I did was drop the yarn in a little bit at a time until, we got to here. And by the time I got to here, it was pretty much, the purple was gone out of the dye, and it was just this little bit of blue left over. So it was an interesting process. I think if I do it again this time I'll add a little bit more dye in. So this is a little more purple, but I think this turned out pretty. So this was failed, or well, it's not really a failed attempt, but this was attempt number 4. Let's see how it looks hanged up. In the hank, it's really pretty. So that was number 4. And then number 5, I think this is my favorite. This one is blue. And it turned out so pretty. You can see where it started down here in the dark blue, and then by the time you got up here, you're into like a really soft green. And this one I think turned out to be my favorite. If I could figure out how I did this one to recreate this, I would make a bunch of this and then make a really pretty shawl out of this one. As it is, I think I'm going to try to find a one skein shawl or scarf for this, because I think this turned out so pretty. Very beachy, very lagoon blue is how this one turned out. I really love how this one hanks up. I think it looks beautiful in the hank too. I can get it to do it right. There, you can see all the colors. That didn't work out. Let's try this again. There we go. So there. That was the 5th one. I bought a small package of 5 of these because I really didn't know what to expect. If I was going to enjoy it, was it going to stink up the house? Did I have the right equipment? I loved it. I am going to order some more. I am going to dye up some more of those. I'm going to try other colors. I was watching another dyer on YouTube, and gosh darn it, I meant to write her name down and I forgot. If I can find it, I'll link it below. She was using some Yunky Monkey bamboo cotton yarn, and she dyed that, and I have a bunch of that. I ordered a bunch of it 2 years ago. It was an Amazon deal, flash deal. I got 10 skeins of this white cotton bamboo blend. And she showed how she dyed that and how beautiful that turned out. I'm going to try that. That's going to be my next experiment sometime next week, because there's a lengthier process in order to dye the bamboo. So I'm excited about that. And she used, I think, she used the same Wilton dye. So I think I can do this with the Yunky Monkey that I have. So, guys, I'm a dyer. I had fun. I loved it. You know, these are just going to be for me because, you know, these are my babies right now. Maybe someday I will dye and, you know, put it out there for the yarny universe to enjoy. But these 5 are staying with me. They'll probably go up here, or when I rearrange in this room, to be decorations for a while. I'm going to sit and look at them because they're so pretty. But eventually I will dye some yarn to put out there for you all to enjoy. Not anytime soon. I need some more practice at it, but it's something that I discovered that I really, really enjoy doing. It was a lot of fun. It was very interesting, and I want to learn more about the process and see where this takes me. It's a different road to be on in the fiber community. So with that, I'm going to say me and my beauties are going to head off. Got a busy weekend going on this weekend. I've got to get working on my shawl. We got a couple of errands to run this afternoon. We're trying to get our pool open. We had a filter mishap, so my pool's kind of green. My pool's never green. My pool's green and I don't like it. So we got to head to the pool store this afternoon. So busy time. It's getting to that time of year where, you know, life gets in the way of crochet, but I'm going to make sure that every day I have some time to work on my art and my joy, and it's my relaxation, and we're going to keep it that way. We're going to make sure that this does not get stressful. So I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you get some quality crafting time in, right, Sam and Mike? If you don't know who I am talking about, Sam and Mike at Memphis Make, go check them out. They're adorable. They're going to have a live this Saturday like they do every week. Check them out. I don't always check out lives because usually on the weekends I'm with my husband and we're busy. But apparently they have a really good time on their lives. So go check out Sam and Mike on their lives. But until then, I hope you have a great weekend and be kind to everyone.